Welcome to UNMUZZLED CHAT. I am getting blown up right now, and give me a sec, I'll explain as to why. But a quick breakdown on today's little episode. It's about Lyme disease. It's about how freaking devastating it is. And that, in fact, it's at true epidemic levels. And it's far more common than anyone knows. And I have proof. I'm going to start bringing the freaking receipts. And I'm going to start bringing true, like, people's authentic, personal stories and their battles with this horrific disease, bioweapon. I don't know if I want to scream right now or cry, but I've spent hours, the majority of my day, sitting right here. I should have actually pulled out the larger notepad because I've been filling these smaller pages, page after page after page. It's really sad. The people that end up struggling with Lyme pretty much have to become their own doctor, their own expert, their own researcher, their own scientist, their own advocate to see wellness and get any level of quality life back. That especially relates to those that, 20% or over 20% of those that experience chronic Lyme. I'm still getting multiple chats here. So I actually feel blessed that I was functional enough, and it's hard to keep up. Like I just had to kind of put this on pause because I feel like this would continue into tomorrow at this rate of all this connection that's been happening. But I feel really blessed to be making these connections. So I'm not that, as I've said on other episodes, I'm not tech literate. I'm not a social media guru. In fact, I've stayed away from these things to live based in reality, which has been a huge blessing for me. And I've gotten quite a bit, a lot of enjoyment living in the face-to-face world than this digital space. But I do see how effective evil has been with this digital age. So we must fight fire with fire. And with what I'm facing, it's obviously a means to an end, bringing awareness and bringing these stories and everything to the forefront. So I've had to dive on in. Well, I started figuring out the whole groups thing. Now, I'm not an advocate for Facebook any way, shape, or form, because there's a huge level of tyrannical rule in suppressing truth in a bunch of freaking commies. However, there's still great connections to be made and a good amount of information that's helpful. But this is by no means my main source of anything. It's literally just being used for connections. I shouldn't even be relying to that nature because I could be banned with the stuff I'm putting up there anyways. Whatever. I digress. I don't want to totally get lost in that. But I've joined some of these multiple Lyme disease groups. Chronic Lyme. I mean, there's just quite a few. In fact, I'm not even going to operate. But it's gotten to a point, it's like actually hard to keep up with a few posts on some of these groups I join, a bit about what I'm going through and seeking some answers, is to basically, I mean, my gosh, I basically did a post here. Now let's minimize that, minimize that. All these chats are popping up. I said, how does one survive chronic Lyme? I state that I personally have run out of funds after 4 years of vigorously fighting to beat this dang thing, and it seems I'm not much further along than day one. How do people continue this fight? I'm tapped. Family, friends really don't understand it. Docs have said that I'm one of the worst cases, or the worst case that they have ever seen, due to the fact that I've been dealing with this for over 30 years now. And I feel if I don't have some kind of breakthrough soon, I'll lose this battle. Please help me find a way so I can help others. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I no longer want this to be about me. All I want to do is bring awareness to help others in this life. Why I kicked off this podcast, to bring awareness, have others on to share their stories. Please reach out. Would love to have you on. It blows my mind. Such a devastating chronic disease is at epidemic levels, and it basically takes one to be afflicted themselves to actually know anything about it. How does one beat this? I'm not the most craftily worded gentleman. Just wanted to essentially throw something together and test the waters, and that's basically what I was applying to like these things, and kind of in the hundreds of comments. The main takeaway for me is to see how this little bit here has resonated with so many that are also cognitively struggling, financially struggling, literally at their wits' end, knocking on death's door. So many of them have spoke out from a place of despair. It's hard to explain. This is a huge problem. And my heart goes out to these people. And while the world is out there focusing on what vehicle they drive, the clothes they wear, biowarfare is running rampant, our country's falling down the tubes. We got to wake up. We got to start living more selfless. We are all visitors here. It's not like, I don't know, I'm attacking any of you directly. I'm trying to speak in a way that we could share these messages and do our part and ignite that fire within ourselves to create a movement, a community of support and love. I myself have been guilty, living selfishly, all self-centered like. I'm trying to right that ship. I believe it is now it is my calling and my life mission to not just bring awareness to this disease, but to help people in all aspects to life. And I personally feel the most directional view to have is honing back in on, we're all visiting here, and to figure out the why we are all here. And I believe that leads us right here to the Bible and biblical truths. Evil wants to discredit this and take it away and hide it and pull it out of our civilization, from schools to our politics to our workplace. So it can infiltrate our minds, our hearts, lead us astray, lead us to more sickness and suffering and sin. The road of sin leads us to our own detriment. And it's weird how we skew all of that. And I personally have skewed it to where it's just shame, guilt, blame. Like, no. It leads to spiritual death. It's to our detriment. That's not life. That's not fulfilling, meaning, purposeful, peaceful, happy, blissful existence. And I'm telling you, there's far more important things than our walk in these mortal bodies. I know that to be true. So I'm on fire to get way more engaged with these groups, these individuals that are suffering. I think I'm going to go on a binge here, have as many as them on as I can have. I can. Why is it I myself had to be afflicted with this to even take, I don't know, bat an eye, take this serious, or even know of its existence? If these futuristic stories and having these people on share their personal battles don't wake up the world to something that could potentially end up inevitable for everyone, I don't know what will. It's important that we tune in and listen and share and post and follow and do what we can, because these type of things will impact, I mean, my gosh, we've already covered it. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything in this life. Sorry if this is a little harsh and somber. It's just, it's mind-bending how many, in fact, I guess because I felt really alone. I've researched a lot. I've seen a lot of the documentaries and statistics as to how many are suffering. But now to be directly in conversation with so many, it's kind of a wonder that I've even like tapped into these sources. And what other sources have I not been tapping into? I'm sure there's plenty, but it's wild, like all in time, considering the level of like lack of function. This is, there's stages I couldn't even comprehend being in this chair. And if I had to even like start it all back up in this moment, I don't think I necessarily could. I had a moment of function enough to get it to this point. Thank you for that. I believe, and it's bigger than a blessing to me, because it's, I mean, well, there's blessing that comes to the selfless nature, no doubt, but it's bigger than that. Anyway, probably not connecting dots very well right now. But that's a struggle I'm dealing with. That's a struggle so many of these people are dealing with. So I got to get over myself. I got to do my part. It's so important to have these stories out, to bring a credibility to this freaking disease and up the awareness so we can potentially bring accountability, up the testing, diagnosing, the treatments, the funding, because so many are fighting all those same battles. Help me help them. Support what we're trying to achieve here. Please. It's the least we could do. Supporting these people and helping. So stay tuned. We're going to go on a Lyme binge here, folks. We're going to be talking about a bunch of other things as well. But help support. Comment, follow, share. I love you guys. We got this. We can ensure a better tomorrow, a better world. Why else are we here? I mean, we could help in so many ways. Let's do just that. Thank you so much for joining. Till next time.